Hey guys, I'm out here at the shooting range. I saw a video that was very interesting. Someone did the 142-yard shot. They're saying it's 142 yards for Charlie Kirk. Rest in peace. That was a horrible, horrible thing that happened to him and his family, and the threats and everything else that are happening to him should never happen to anyone, regardless of their views or their speech. But I'm out here today because I was curious. 142 yards, that's a pretty close shot. Most people zero their rifles at 100 yards. So I wanted to do 242 yards. So I went 100 yards past that. And what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna do basically the same setup. I have a rifle with a scope. You'll see which rifle I'm using once we actually get started. But it is not a professional sniper rifle. It is not a competition rifle. And this one is a 6.5 Creedmoor, and I'm using about 14 power magnification. So I'm going to shoot a few different things. I'm gonna shoot a 14-inch gong first to verify I'm even in the area. And then I'm gonna do a honeydew melon, a pineapple, a Pepsi bottle, and then a peach. I highly doubt I'll hit the peach or the Pepsi bottle, but the other items, which are smaller than a human head, at 242 yards, I'm pretty sure I can hit. So I know the shot was actually 142 yards, supposedly. I'm shooting at 240 yards just to prove a point. All right, so we're gonna go for that gong first and see if we can hit that, and then we'll go on to these smaller items. This is at 242 yards. All right, that's a hit on the gong. I'm gonna aim low. And that was a hit. So you can see the pineapple was hit. So it looks like I need to aim a little bit below each item to hit it. So now that I hit that, let's go for the honeydew melon. I'm gonna aim low on it. That's a hit. So as you can see at 240 yards, 242 yards, I was able to hit something the size of a human head, which was the gong, something smaller, which was the cantaloupe, and then even smaller pineapple. So it's definitely doable. This is at 100 yards further than the Charlie Kirk Assassin shooter, and I'm not a professional. I don't do competitions or any of that kind of stuff, so I just casually shoot on the weekends for as far as sniper shooting goes and long distance. So I still want to try. A part of me still wants to see if I can hit that bottle at $1.20 a shot. I don't want to do this all day, but part of me really wants to hit that before I go. That was a miss. So I'll do a few more of these. And if I still can't hit it, I will call it. Also a miss. All right. So at 240 yards with this specific setup, this is a 6.5 Creedmoor X-Bolt Browning rifle. It has this Strike Eagle Vortex on it. So with this setup, it's a decently formidable setup. I can hit steel, a 3 and 4 inch steel, easily out at 800 yards. So in this particular case, I'm shooting at 242 yards. I hit the 12-inch steel. I hit a small honeydew melon. I hit a small pineapple, but I have not been able to hit the Coke Zero or the peach. But every target that I've hit so far is definitely within the human torso size or even human head size. So it shows that the shooter or supposed shooter did not have to be a professional assassin. The shot that took his life doesn't indicate Mossad or FBI or CIA or Special Forces or something like that. It could be an everyday person. And as many of you have heard, he and his family have been hunting his whole life. So he's been shooting at deer and other wild game at probably 400 plus yards. So that 142-yard shot was not a difficult one for him. All right, so we're gonna head down. We're gonna look at those targets. And you can see how far this is from here. Let me flip this around. So it's all the way back there. We have to turn on our range lights so people know I am downrange. Don't want to do that. So many people were saying initially that this had to be some kind of professional assassin. They were blaming Mossad, CIA, FBI, Special Forces, or maybe some kind of vigilante, right? Someone who was very well trained. But in this case, as we can see, and we'll see here in a moment, and you saw on camera, I am an everyday person. I do not do competitions. I am not military or police. And I was able to hit all of the head and even smaller size targets at 242 yards. Now you have to remember that his shot was at 142 yards. That's 100 yards closer. That's a football field. So significantly easier shot. So let's look at these and see what we got. Show you where we were shooting from. All the way up there on top of the hill. This is our gong that we were shooting at. And this is about 12, maybe 12 to 14 inch gong. And then the next thing I hit was this pineapple. And as you can see, it's exploded. You can see the leaves and stuff everywhere. I did try and hit this Pepsi bottle. I said Coke bottle, but this Pepsi bottle I tried to hit several times. I think it was bouncing off the dirt because you can see dirt splashed on it. So I was just below it. And then that piece, no way I was hitting that today. This honeydew melon exploded. I hit that one. You can see a piece of it over there. 142 yards for someone who hunts every once in a while, or 142 yards for people that shoot on the weekend and have had at least a couple hours of training. I think a 10 or 12-year-old kid that you showed the basics to could probably do a 142-yard shot and hit a human-sized or head-sized target. All right, so what do you guys think? We're able to hit a few things, missed a few things. The things I hit were definitely human-sized or smaller. So in this case, I think I kind of proved my point that this was probably not a professional hit, and if it was the easiest job any of those guys have ever had. And as always, like and subscribe and share this around, and I'll see you guys in the next one.